Welcome back here to Adelante Chicago. ComEd taking on a new initiative that will help students focus on the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. You've probably heard of this before as the STEM fields. Well, it was a two-day program that will then lead into a special project for Chicago area communities, or it did, in fact. So joining us are two of the students that took part in this program. There they are, smiling. That is Bianca Martinez and Eric Ortega. They are ComEd Solar Spotlight participants. Thank you to the two of you for coming in.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. This is such a cool program. So I'm going to start with you guys telling me a little bit about yourselves and your interest in the STEM field. So Bianca, I'm going to start with you. You are in what grade and what is your interest?
Oh, I'm a junior in Prosser Career Academy, and I'd like to go into electrical engineering or neuro.
Okay, electrical engineering or
Become a neurologist.
Neurologist, all things that sound very, very difficult. So you have to be very good at math and science. And then let's move on to you. And what year are you?
So I'm a current senior at Instituto Health and Sciences Career Academy. And my dream is to hopefully become a trauma surgeon in the future.
Wow, that's amazing, guys. And so ComEd, it's my understanding that they did this as part of Hispanic Heritage Month to help some of the Latino communities become a little bit more interested in the STEM fields, in that science, technology, engineering, and math. I want you guys to sort of talk to me about the difficulties in getting people to, one, understand those fields, and two, to get them excited about them. Because I remember when I was in school, I will tell you this, it's a secret. I was not so interested in science at the time. So how do you do that, and how do you motivate Latino students to become interested in that?
Well, how my teacher was, he was, motivating us, and he was just like, write me an email, like everybody, this is a great opportunity. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to take it. And I did, and it was just so much fun.
Okay. And from there, you also got to meet some Latino leaders.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, Fidel, CEO, he was in our group, and he just made it sound so interesting. And I myself already love math, and it was just like, I don't know, I loved it.
Yeah, and one of the things that you said is that, so they set you guys up into groups, and that Fidel, who we know through the community, obviously the head of ComEd, but also very involved in the Latino community, and he was very involved in your group and kind of kept you motivated.
He was like helping us throughout, plugging in the wires, making everything work, and he was just like spending time with us.
Okay, and tell me about your experience.
So for me, I always wanted to be a trauma surgeon, so it kind of reinforced the idea of going into the STEM field. And so because of that, sometimes we need to bring people together, like the Latino community, so that they're aware of the kinds of options that they have. And so during that program, we learned just the basics of electricity, and because it's a ComEd company, they're willing to help out the community by lowering electrical costs through solar panel.
Okay. All right. And tell me then what you did, what happened after those 2 days. I know that, as I said, you met a lot of Latino leaders, but then you were also able to help your community. So I'll take it to you, Eric, and you explain that.
For me, it was a great experience, to be honest. Working with different people, it kind of opened up different amounts of people, and
you get to network a little bit, right?
Network. So it is really helpful because during your future, you use those connections, and they're really helpful because when you're going into a career, you need people that are going to help you out in the future. So that networking is really important.
Yeah, that in and of itself is important. And I asked Bianca this question, but why do you think that maybe a lot of Latino students are not interested in these fields? Like, what is it that is keeping us? What is the obstacle right now that is keeping us from getting into those fields, you think, in your opinion?
So, and I think it's because the people are not aware, and so we need to create that awareness. And I mean, Chicago has a lot of resources, but sometimes it's hard to find. And having these programs available for students actually brings the community together. And so by bringing the youth together, and showing them these opportunities, they will become more interested in the STEM field.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the things that, I guess this is part of the 2-day program, and I see Fidel right there in the video. What, did you guys create an actual solar panel, or what?
We just put together the basics of electricity, and
So you have to explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old. Because, like I said, science has never been my strong suit, right? So you created, explain it one more time.
So we had a battery available for us, and we had different parts connected to the battery. And through this control, we created a series circuit where we connected a fan and a light to a battery. And so learning those basic skills of, technically it's engineering because an engineering field. So having those basic skills, it really inspired us to be more open to different skills that we could use.
Yeah, and Bianca, I imagine that when you create something like this as part of a team, it's got to be a pretty good feeling, right? What was that like as a team together?
Like when Fidel was helping us, he went to go, help other groups, but we're figuring out on our own, and we learned that when you plug in like the fan and the phone and the battery, like the battery will waste more, obviously, and when you disconnect all the the devices that are on, it shoots back up. And we were just like, Fidel had gave us the word, but it was really long. I was just like, what? But it was just like, it was fun and like to learn something new.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. She's like, yeah, it was
I
great.
just loved it. It was just like
it.
It was exciting, and then
Good.
make electricity with a battery and a solar panel. I was just like, what? How?
Wow. Yeah. The second part of all of this is that you get to actually help 4 communities in Chicago, predominantly Latino communities. So we're talking about, I believe it's Little Village. I think it might be Brighton Park. There's a few of them that are involved. And so what were you able to do for them? And I know, Eric, you were pretty excited about all this.
So I was actually excited because, it lowers the electrical cost of the community. And so because some communities are underdeveloped and underrepresented, it's a good way to represent the community in that way and help it out because electrical costs for the community are really high right now.
Sure, yeah.
So lowering those bills, those essential things are really important for our community.
Yeah, it helps use that money for other things. But so you said that they installed solar panels, right, at murals.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Do you want to take it, Eric? I'll let you take it.
Yeah, for sure. So we did go out to Little Village, and there was a mural of a Mexican-American war hero. And so I guess they created a light that was solar paneled on top of the mural. And so at night, they recharge that solar power panel, and so it gives out light at night. So
it lights up that mural,
lights up the mural
so that people can see it.
And so what we did is actually we took a picture in front of it to represent our community, and it was really inspiring to see so many Latinos together in the community, actually willing to represent.
Well, the two of you inspire me, both Eric and Bianca. Thank you for coming in. Sounds like a great program. You really took advantage of that opportunity. It was a 2-day program as part of Hispanic Heritage Month from ComEd, so we're hoping that they do it again next year, right?
Sure.
A lot of other students get to take advantage of it as well. Thank you very much for coming in, and good luck.
Me.
All right.
Thank you.